Thank you so much for that introduction, Michael. It's really wonderful to be here with all of you in this space and beginning a new year in this company. And so I'm excited to share poems, both in this vein of honoring our ancestors and also paving a path forward for our shared stories. So this first piece that I'm going to share is one of the few that I actually ended up writing towards the end of last year. It's, if you will, a collection of fragments of various experiences reflecting on what this last year has been. It's entitled, "A History of Bones Talking Out the Side of Their Neck." What I know to be true is I am buried beneath a bougainvillea bush. For all I know, my sibling could be the very earth I lie in. My first lifeline is now somebody else's food. It is 2:34 a.m. in the town that birthed you 103 years ago. It is 40 degrees Fahrenheit in that same town that ran your mother out. Sundown in any other place would be beautiful. My memories sleep in two separate rooms. They argue about picket lines through the wall in my childhood closet. What came first, the mask or the martyr? The forgetting begins 2 steps before the dream wakes up. The virus arrives as a door knocker. I watch erosion from afar. I suppose it's common for oceans to make arches of the rock. I'm coming to tell you we have been here before. I am coming to tell you one day you will be the oldest generation. I am coming to tell you this poem is the last place they will look for you. I am coming to tell you the revolution will come with water. I tell you, I am coming. And so this next piece that I want to share is a 2-part poem, again in the vein of calling the ancestors. I think I often do that. I draw a lot from family and lineage and storytelling, and also celebrating our literary ancestors. So in part, this piece is a tribute to one of my favorite authors, Toni Morrison. This first section entitled Ritual. Come to a body of water, your closest stream, the puddle beside your curb strip, the ocean. Yes, come to the ocean. Bring us pumpkin and honey and cast them into the waves. Wade out into the water and apply sea foam to your skin. Return to the land and scoop handfuls of earth until your nails are black. Leave the earth where you found it and cast your palms upwards into the moonlight. Repeat this until you are a wet body wearing sea foam. Fresh earth beneath fingernails. Nightfall on your calloused palms. Repeat this until they find you bleeding stories. In the day, diamonds are in the water. The only time the ocean cut me, I bled stories. They said, what a beautiful yet terrifying thing it is to be free. They said, we have traveled years to bring you our names. We knew you'd forget them, or worse, never recognize them in the first place. They said, rememory me. Unfold your tongue, gather in your hand all the cities your foremothers birthed freedom in. Scatter milkweed seeds in the wind and call us home. Waterlogged and weary, I bandage my wounds with diamonds and rise from seafoam memory, homebound. I have never been far from the page. How else to learn what moonlight looks like through blue-eyed promises? Oh, but to be Sonia, to be Toni, to be wind in a cotton field scattering marigolds. I wish I knew Arkansas clouds like I do the lines on a palm, like I do the recipe for forgiveness. Joy is memory in the refrain, magic too hopeful to stay hidden. See, the trick to befriending stories is listening after all. Yet sometimes belonging cannot be traced by tide lines or railroads carved out of the night sky, but rather dog-eared pages and overdue book finds. Having a library to owe things to makes one at home, right? So we write, we sing, we rename our story legacy before they claim we were never here in the first place. Find us on the page. As she said, this is the first battlefield we play on. Hear our words dance, and so we too leap into blissful surrender. And one day we will fly, and one day we will fly. And this next piece is entitled Soundscape of the Red Line. It's a tribute to my home, this beloved Bay Area, as much as it has changed. The city calls its own streets stranger, finds fault in the paved over cracks on a sidewalk too sleepy to house the homeless. But what is belonging to a gentrified skyline? Development's just another word for displacement. Here we live the fine line between redline and gentrifying. Mouths feed off of topsoil tainted with paper waste. Faucets drip with lead paint. Yet the cleanup comes looking like juice shops and scooter stops. As if generations of our hands didn't build this nation. Quiet. Listen to the great irony of our people. We work this land, and yet by the grace of flashing red and blue lights, they call black bodies on green surfaces danger. Oh, how they whistle to the sweet tune of seductive new cement. Brighter lights on dim streets. Market prices high enough to keep out our dreams of coming back. Here in this place we call home, this metropolis of mind games, landscape of disparity, pit stop for panderers, we live the fine line between we've been here and never coming back. And yet sometimes, the right hour, you can still hear the city sing itself to sleep. And I'm gonna close with one final piece, again for another ancestor, another literary ancestor. This is entitled Consort of the Spirits, after Ntozake Shange. There are roadmaps in my great-great-grandmother's braids. She keeps seeds in there too, because where we are going, home must come with us. Tell me how your mother hides spices in the hem of her skirt, tucks hymns behind her ears, and calls it packing for tomorrow. Do the women in your family hide rose water in their saliva, sage in between their thighs? Because how dare we sleep on strange land without blessing? Tell me how your sister folds indigo leaves between her toes, smuggles cotton flowers under her arms, and promises that where we are going, there will be color. There are black-eyed peas in my auntie's coin purse. She keeps moonlight in there too, because luck is far more precious than loose change. I carry a cowrie shell in the crook of my arm. It sings when my twins are near. I wear strands of sea glass upon my ears because where we are going, there will be music. Do the women in your family wrap beeswax around their ring fingers? tuck matchsticks in their collarbones, and promise that we will never know darkness. They call this survival. But we pack what we must because what we return to may no longer be ours. They call this survival. But the body is a compass and we are each other's destination. They call this survival. But this ritual of making to leave before knowing where we're headed is how we birth futures. They call this survival, but we know better. Where there is a woman, there is magic. Thank you.